This week I'm gonna live as healthy as is humanly possible. Not healthy as in a life of 3% body fat, chicken, rice, and crying yourself to sleep every night, but in terms of living happily for as long as possible. I'm gonna perfect my diet, exercise, mental health, sleep, etc. during this week, and to do that,
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
After doing my body transformation a year and a half ago, I kind of decided that instead of putting so much effort into making myself look good, my happiness and actual health is what I'd much rather invest time into. The person you spend your life with isn't going to stick with you for your abs. A big bag for the shops. If you have a quick look online, the Eat Well guide is what's provided by the NHS, and so is a fairly reliable tool unless you're a middle-aged Facebook user. Hey, I'm not going to sit here and argue the government isn't out to cull us with their man-made coronavirus, 5G towers, and pie charts of vegetables. Natural selection will work well enough for me. I then used the US government My Plate Planner, which tells you exactly how much of what to eat on a day-by-day basis, but before that I wanted to work out my percentage body fat so I could see if I should be trying to lose or gain weight. So I weighed myself, took videos and photos of myself at the start of the week, and measured my body fat. Don't worry, I'm not totally naked. 65.4 kilograms.
Stop tensing.
I'm not tensing. Using some calipers, I was able to get a rough estimation for my body fat, and it was about 13%. The Royal College of Nursing lists that 8 to 20% for the average 20 to 39-year-old man is fine. Going below 5% is pretty risky. I'm pretty much exactly where I want to be. I probably don't want to lose any weight or gain any weight. I just want to stay the same. Therefore, I will be exactly following this diet plan each day to maintain my weight. So it is the first day of my week of health. It is Saturday afternoon. I wanted it to be a fairly normal Friday night, so I have only woken up a couple of hours ago. The general current accepted diet advice is to go for a Mediterranean diet, which basically means less red meat, more fruit and veg. A lot of people don't eat like that in 2020, so put down the takeaways, bacon sarnies, and bats. So we have a couple of slices of wholemeal bread. The guidelines I'm using for this are American. They use cups as measurements. 1 cup is 237 milliliters, I think. So I'm gonna be measuring using one of these epitome of science. 2nd cup, and then a 3rd cup of just vegetables. I think that's as little as I can possibly put on without being classed as a danger to society. We'll go about 2.5 ounces of chicken. I mean, the sandwich isn't gonna win the awards. I'm throwing that out there, but it'll do the job. In addition to that, fruit yogurt. Vamos. Yeah, we're playing Brighton, 12 minutes in, hit the bar, so going well. We're gonna try and have no sauces throughout the week if I can. I was banging, big fan of that sandwich. No sauce as well, still had a lot of sauce, if you know what I'm saying. Lunch. Conquered. Now exercise. Exercise is amazing.
Jogging is the worst, Chris. I mean, I know it keeps you healthy, but God, at what cost?
The World Health Organization recommends we do at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity throughout the week, and for additional health benefits, 300 minutes per week. This is basically because of just loads of health benefits. Another huge thing is that exercise can significantly reduce depression and anxiety, and to be honest, that's a huge motivator for me. Like when you can't be bothered to go to the gym or football training or something, like that kind of makes you go if you know that there's evidence that it's literally gonna make you happier. Doing exercise for 45 minutes at a time, 3 to 5 times a week has the most beneficial mental health effects. So that's gonna be my exercise plan for the week. I couldn't be bothered to do any exercise today because it's a Saturday and I only need to exercise for 5 out of the 7 days. So we're good on that front. I put together a list of a few examples of physical activity that are good for mental health effects and some that apparently don't count as well. Now that takes me nicely on to the next section, mental health. Now evidence suggests there are 5 steps, I'm just quoting from the NHS here, that you can take to improve your mental health and well-being. 1, connect with other people. So I'm gonna try and be social as much as I can this week. 2, exercise, we've already touched that. 3, learn new skills. So I'm gonna try surfing and hopefully a few other things as well. 4, giving to others. I'm making a YouTube video. And 5, mindfulness. Mindfulness means focusing your awareness on the here and now and has a growing amount of evidence behind it. I'll get into it more later, but you can essentially rewire and hardwire your brain. So I do it in my spare time anyway, but I'm gonna take a course that is recommended by the NHS that I found on there throughout the week. It's pretty much the main things for now.
I am so glad I did not film that match of football. I would like to propose a plan to liquidate the Premier League indefinitely. A couple of hours has passed and now we're heading out to dinner with my family and Shannon's family as well.
Now, hundreds of studies have proved that reducing calorie intake causes organisms to be healthier, age more slowly, and live longer. We've heard a lot of depressing news this year, but I think that probably tops the lot. Intermittent fasting is a tolerable way of achieving the benefits of calorie restriction without like demanding permanent self-restraint. Which I'm sure I couldn't do. This is where you fast for 16 hours and then eat normally for 8, so I'm gonna do that.
This is about as Mediterranean as we could have gone, you know? We got vegetable skewers, and some chicken, some salad, and some rice. Couldn't get brown rice, unfortunately. Done pretty well.
I mentioned brown rice there because whole grain options are better due to the fact that they contain more fiber and flatten the spike of sugar and insulin in the blood. Foods that cause high sugar spikes can cause cells to become insulin resistant, and that can result in health problems and diabetes. If your mum's an anti-vaxxer, chances are she's not gonna like the look of a diabetes pen, and so it's curtains for you.
So I've just got home to finish it off for the day. Yeah, just some fruit and some yogurt, a cup of tea or so. Jersey's finest. I am a sugar man. I usually have 1.5, so I'm gonna go with 2 sweeteners because sugar is not great.
So in terms of what I'm drinking throughout this week, the NHS recommends you have 6 to 8 drinks a day. Unfortunately not alcohol. There's no space for alcohol in this diet. What's your poison has always seemed an appropriate question.
There's so much yogurt. There's so much more dairy than I thought I was gonna have. A bit tasteless, not gonna lie to you. For every day this week, I'm gonna do a session of mindfulness. Real spectator sport. So it's mainly gonna be consisting of me sat here doing nothing. So great entertainment, boys. So mindfulness is actually something that I'm trying to do more in everyday life.
Mindfulness literally changes the brain through neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to form new neural connections and allows the brain to reorganize itself. Evidence shows us that mindfulness can help increase our resilience, which allows us to cope better and roll with the punches throughout the day better. I won't sit you through all of this, but it's all about like observing the present and just looking at things for what they are and experiencing the present. Then I had a body scan to do.
There's literally no way I don't fall asleep doing this.
Seeing if it's possible now to let go of any unnecessary holding or tightness within the body.
So my course had given me 3 things to try out each day.
I've got to be doing a 30-minute body scan. Be aware of one activity that you do on autopilot throughout the day, taking a shower or brushing your teeth, and then also being mindful of eating a meal.
I then finished off a real tough day at the office by connecting with others over some video games.
I'm gonna go to bed now to get the advised hours of sleep.
Your individual sleep requirement is a bit like a man over the age of 40, always triggered by your genes. How much sleep you need varies massively person to person because of genetics, but a general rule of thumb is that you shouldn't need an alarm clock and, you know, you should just rise when you've had enough sleep. 7 hours seems to be the sweet spot for health though. The correlation between excess sleep and mortality is at least as strong as the correlation with sleep deprivation, so you can sleep too much.
First day conquered. See you tomorrow. 10 o'clock, so I've had 8.5 hours sleep. It's Father's Day today, and me and my sister are gonna make my dad pancakes. Socially distanced, of course, but it's just gonna be the saddest thing ever because I can't eat them. Pretty depressing, sat in front of my family watching them eat pancakes, but I'm back now. It is 12 o'clock, and I am going to that show that I've been listening to Taylor Swift. It came on in the car, you know, when you connect. Oh, there's no way out of it. I'm gonna have some porridge today. Well, that is a slight problem. There he is, the man himself. Fraudulent. You can't change what's on the inside. And I'll just leave that to soak, which means that it is no longer my problem. Thinking about it, I do not have the willpower to have porridge and fruit without any sort of flavouring, so I'm gonna just swap out a bit of my fruit for some raisins. What a sad day.
The sugar found in fruit, fructose, is actually possibly more dangerous than any other sugars. It also doesn't make you feel full and actually may encourage overeating. It's not an argument to say avoid fruit, but because the benefits outweigh the dangers, but don't overdo it basically, which was kind of interesting.
That's today's breakfast, lunch thing sorted, and catching up on Twitter after Arsenal Brighton. Wish me luck. Alright there, how's it going? I'll just switch this off before Will copyrights me. Now today, for half of my exercise, not exactly fighting the Jersey posh boy stereotype.
be with him. I got on camera.
Hate to see it. Brilliant shot. Further than mine. Do you want to know a secret, boys? Having an absolute stinker.
Nice.
I'm Dovo. Praise the Lord. I realised that, of course, I can have a fruit yogurt. Thank the Lord, I can still drink cups of tea.
There's studies that have been done on caffeine which have shown it's got benefits, and then there's also been ones that have showed it's got harmful effects. So I've been going with decaf at the moment, kind of until we know more.
For dinner tonight, we're going to whip up a little chickpea curry. It should be Sunday night dinner. My 2 hours of golf today, I didn't really think could count as my full exercise. Golf doesn't count. Barely even a sport. All right, 20-minute timer. Let's do it. I'm really not sure we've done this. What human has that for dinner? Might as well just eat out of a trough. That'll be my BTEC naan bread today. That is actually unreal. Look how much food there is on that plate. That's stupid. This is dumb. So, turns out, like, we haven't calculated anything wrong. It's just basically balanced out the meals of the day so badly. I've done it. Eventually got there. And I feel sick. I need to plan better tomorrow.
We see far too much of some things in our modern lives. Pollution, salt in our diet, and Willanies are to name a few. Salt is a vital nutrient that maintains fluid balance, but we have way too much. Basically, the more you eat, the more desensitized to salt the receptors on your tongue become. Basically, cut back on as much salt as you possibly can, because you just don't need to add salt into our diet at all.
Just realised I've got my retainer in. So this is ChrisMD with a lisp. It is 12 o'clock. I've got to get up at 8:30 tomorrow, so should at least be able to tell if I'm knackered. Just woke up Monday morning, had about 8 hours sleep. Definitely not enough. I'm still knackered. So we're just having breakfast at a little cafe by the beach. 11:30, so it's a bit early for the intermittent fasting, but it's not too bad. Dad's eating a bacon and egg ciabatta, while I've got brown bread, poached egg and avocado. Sad times. For my bit of exercise today, I'm gonna go on a 45-minute run, which is death. Tell you what, such an error bringing a camera in addition to a phone. I'm literally running holding G7X, my iPhone in one hand. Feels like I'm doing some sort of weight sprint training. Battery just run out because I was on 46 minutes. Why would I lie? Tonight for dinner we are having salmon linguine. Shannon is so done with me doing this diet. She has cited the idea of me binning off the video already.
I might live longer, but I'll spend the time that I live longer measuring out my food.
Yeah, I have not much time to do editing and actual work during this. I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I can do that. Most people, so while Shan's just ranting whilst cooking dinner, I'm going to relax with some mindfulness. So I've been doing the being mindful about a routine activity and also being mindful whilst eating food. I did that yesterday and I had a shower today, was mindful about that, and I'm gonna be mindful about eating when we have dinner as well. So but I also have another 30-minute body scan to do. Right, this is actually way more reasonable than yesterday. I think purely because I had more protein earlier in the day. Got my water. That's actually all right, you know? I'm quite happy with that portion. Finished the dinner, no complaints. That was actually a good amount of food today, but like something I'm really finding difficult is eating the right amount of dairy. So like, I've just got bits of fruit swimming in yogurt here. Downing some cups of tea. Like, I'm having to make my tea quite milky to get the amount of dairy that I'm supposed to be having. So it's my final meal of the day, and yeah, worked it out a bit better today at least. Got 8 hours sleep last night because we did have a sizable nap during the day, so see how I manage on that today. 25 degrees though today, so I think we're going to do a little bit of surfing later on. This morning we have 2 eggs, 1.5 ounces of salmon, 2 slices of bread, no butter, and a cup of vegetables. Hopefully I'm balancing it out a bit better today. So my daily exercise for today is going to be surfing. I absolutely suck at surfing, but I'm from Jersey, so kind of should be a bit better at it. But anyway, we are down at the beach. It's 25 degrees. Let's do this. now sat at the beach, having a little barbecue. First off, we're gonna have one of these little halloumi skewers. My dairy. So this counts as 1 cup of dairy. Sideways, Shannon.
Oh, sorry. Don't fit in.
We both agreed that I'm supposed to be sustaining my weight. So I need 3.5 ounces of chicken. Couldn't write it. 1 cup of veg. I think this is the saddest thing I've ever done, sitting here in public using a measuring cylinder and a pair of scales. Once again, there's so much fibre to eat in this, I'm just not used to it, so I haven't really calculated it properly. So I've eaten everything else and I've just got to have 2 pieces of spaps because I've run out of eating everything else, so all I can have is a bit of bread and some of the plant butter. So happy. Just absolutely loving life.
Something I found out this week is that carbohydrates can be slightly carcinogenic due to the compound called acrylamide. I should really look that up. It's produced by a reaction between proteins and sugars when they're heated above 120 degrees. Barbecuing and pan frying meats can also create carcinogenic compounds. So yeah, just barbecue a bit less. Is there any good news in this video? Okay, and once again, I have my evening dessert, some fruit and some yogurt. So I'm gonna do the mindfulness practice now of being mindful about my food. Riveting viewing.
So watch it, drink it in.
Right, because I'm an absolute hero to the people. I've been editing for hours, so it is 1:30. Okay, I just realised I hadn't filmed anything yet today. I woke up at about 9:30, so I got 7.5 hours sleep. Not too bad, you know, that's within the acceptable range. I have been editing like pretty much the whole morning. It is about 1 o'clock. You can see up there, and I've just got hold of my breakfast, well, lunch, breakfast, whatever. I've gone with 2 chicken sandwiches and some salad. So yeah, we've got like 2 cups of salad, half a bite of chicken I can have each day. And yeah, because I just thought I'll just roll breakfast and lunch as again into one. It is 27 degrees today, so there's absolutely no chance that I'm going running with a shirt on. The people I pass are just gonna have to accept that I am an alpha. So many people just ignore sun cream, and you know, like getting burnt has become like a bit of a thing to show off. I've never understood that. Put sun cream on or you'll get skin cancer. It really is that simple. Yeah, I realised when I was taking footage on the G7X the other day of me running, like I literally have a GoPro with stabilisation, so it seemed like the sensible thing to take that out today. Jesus Christ, there's no way I think I'd have even survived this run if I'd had a shirt on. In fact, I might just go fully nude. There's no one around. What are they gonna do? Sue me? Yeah, they might. Jersey actually just is a bit sick. Like that could easily be Croatia or somewhere in the Mediterranean. Still no Nando's, but I'll take it. This song, I discovered this because this band called Lvly won Eurovision in maybe 2004. This band came out in just orc suits, essentially. It's just incredible running music, so shout out to them. There's someone down there swimming nude, so I'm gonna keep the camera pointed up here. On that subject, that for example is a song that I would love to use in a video. There's a site I've discovered recently called Licked, and it's the only site that I've seen that has reasonable music rates for using music that's claimed by UMG or WMG, and clearly the labels have sort of decided that it's a good idea to sort of breach the YouTube side, because I've tried contacting people before to use well-known songs like Eye of the Tiger or something, and if you don't want it copyrighted, it literally costs $5 grand. And it's any small creators that are out there, Licked is a really good site for, they've got a few decent mainstream songs on there and stuff, and you can license them for pretty decent rates, so check it out. I'm actually not sure whether I've ever been this sweaty in my life. I'm just having to stop for bits of shade. I'll look into some stuff when I get home, but I feel like if I continue running in this heat, it's just dumb. Obviously there's the, not exercising enough part of this, but you definitely can exercise too much as well, so I'm just gonna take it a little bit chill. All right, there we go, 45 minutes. Dessert for my lunch. I've got a smoothie, very manly straw, good. Oh my God, this is sad. So Shannon's just cooked dinner.
So you've got whole wheat spaghetti.
Yep.
Chicken, which is, I think, 3 ounces of chicken, which is very, very little. Onions, tomatoes, cucumber and cheese, and pesto.
What do you call it? A mess?
A mess?
Wednesday night, it's 10:30, sorry. Haven't quite got the timing right today. It's because I've been editing this video, which is the takeaway video. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just eating my dessert of fruit and yogurt. It's become a bit customary.
and that is all I've got today. I used to have days like this in 2016, like when I just didn't really have a life, and I've only finished now and it's 1 o'clock, so it's just not an enjoyable way to live. 2 more days left, we can do this. Okay, it is about 10:30, woke up at about 9 o'clock today. A decent 7.5 hours sleep. It is just obscenely hot today. We're off to just film something for Shannon's video at the beach, so getting our dose of outsideness. Wasn't much I could go with, except for some granola and some fruit, honey on the side. Shannon's gone with avocado.
I went with avocado.
No one cares.
I've now just got this pot of honey sitting here. It's the saddest thing in the world, but I just have to leave it there. Usually I'd just chug that.
Today, as I've just put up my video, we are kind of taking the day off. We've just come around to my parents' house, and we are just social distancing outside by the pool. Just got our lunch, which is chicken baguette, lettuce, cucumber and tomato. It is the only white bread that I'm technically having this week, but you know, it's like, come on. Right, I do apologise, it's just too hot to wear a shirt today. Most of today we spent sat by the pool, and then I was going to go to football training and you know, like preach about how social activities and doing exercise as a group with people was really good for your health. Football got called off because it was too hot, and it was actually dangerous if we did football training, so I haven't been able to do that today. So I'm going to take today as my day off for exercise. This camera just doesn't want to, like, if you notice, it's throughout the entire week it just focuses on the background. Like, what in the background can possibly be my daily dose of giving to people? I have uploaded my takeaway video. It is currently doing good things, to be fair. We're on 2 out of 10. It was 1 out of 10, you know, things that you absolutely love to see. So yeah, it's done really well. It only leaked Stephen's address, you know, so that's 1 out of 4. That's pretty good. Oh, Arsenal actually won. Vamos.
You've been practicing the body scan for a few days now, so well done. Some people say that they keep falling asleep.
So I've just been asked to write in some details, some little notes that I've made about my body scan experience. Great until I get to my massive pecs and get distracted. This mindfulness course that I'm doing, it says to do the body scan on most days. So this is my 3rd attempt at it, and I'll do it tomorrow as well. So I've done 4 out of 7. About half an hour of me lying down.
So choosing the time and place.
Halfway through I was like, I see you playing Chelsea right now. Really had to distance that thought. And while I've been doing that mindfulness, Shannon has actually been doing something with her evening. Amazing looking chicken korma.
Chicken, nuts, sultanas and onions.
Ooh, sultanas. That's
Yeah.
a naughty little shout.
I know.
Do you know what?
That's quite a lot
very
of
happy with
rice.
that. What, and I can have a piece of bread as well?
Yeah.
Oh, Christmas has come early. 2 more days of this. Then I'm free. Gone with a naughty little cheat code, gone for the cross. I think this might mean that Liverpool win the league. Right, and for dessert, Liverpool have now won the league, for the record. They've easily been the best team. For dessert, I have a helping of despair as Liverpool win the league. I really feel like I didn't do much today. I was just playing some video games, to be honest. That's just relaxing. It's 2 o'clock, into bed now. Final day tomorrow of eating, and then me and Shannon are gonna KFC and McDonald's just opened in Jersey, so perfect timing. On the last day of this week, I managed to absolutely nail my sleeping last night. So I woke up at about 11:30, which was exactly 9 hours after I went to sleep. So clearly, like, that's the amount of sleep I need. But I realized we had dinner quite late, so like 9 o'clock, and so I can't eat until like, I'm not gonna be able to eat until like 3 o'clock because of the, you know, the 16-hour intermittent fasting thing. So that sucks. My daily exercise for today is going to be having a little kickabout, try to get more people involved, but I just don't have enough mates. Just gonna head around and score some bangers for 45 minutes and see if I can film some of them for you.
I'll get that. How did that go so far?
Participating in shot penalties here, which is just an awful idea. We had a socially distanced garden party on Saturday to chalk back off the extra life I've gained during this week, and every penalty shootout you lost was the Sambuca was out again.
Oh my god! That is ridiculous. That's so rude.
I might as well just own no shirts in my household at this point. I did manage to eat before I went out, and it's now 5:45. This is the first thing I'm eating today, so I'm just having a couple of pieces of toast with some Marmite.
Treat yourself.
Also, it's that time of the week. Ridding my hair's lifespan for as long as possible, but must be too tempting to
It really is so
shave and go faster stripes. Anyway, I'm actually cooking for once. Gonna cook fajitas with wholemeal tortillas. So apparently a 6-inch tortilla counts as 1 ounce
and then if it's a 12-incher, if it's well endowed, then it counts as 2 ounces. We'll call that an ounce. All right, here they are in all their glory. Put my vegetables in a separate pan, and we've got our chicken. I'm basically just gonna measure out everything I'm having on the scales. Okay, so I have my last meal of the week. I have yogurt and fruit. Got this godforsaken yogurt and fruit. Shannon is sat next to me eating popcorn. Just finished our game of tennis and keeping a tan out your
So
hair.
I don't get tan in my hair.
Okay. Technically, I've got until I think at like 12 tomorrow maybe. So I need to do a little bit of mindfulness in the morning. But apart from that, all done. It's about 1 o'clock. Woo! It is the last morning, so I've just woken up. I've got to do this mindfulness, the body scan one more time, and then I'm going to weigh myself and check what sort of progress we've made.
Mission accomplished. Nice job, Rangers.
Now the week is finished, sort of conclusions, how I found it. The time that I have probably prolonged my life by would have been spent working out measurements of food I was eating, which I don't think is a great way to spend your life. But like, I have enjoyed this week. My mood was very high throughout it. In terms of life choices and what I was doing, I think success on that front, because really enjoyed the week. Like, didn't really feel any different, but I was never going to. It is weighing time. Once again, am I naked? You don't know. So I was 65.4 at the start of the week. 64.5. So I have actually lost a bit of weight there. So even though I've been eating, you know how much food I've been eating, like compare that to what I usually eat, because it was healthier and more fibre and stuff, like I've still managed to lose weight. We measured my body fat again, and that also decreased by almost 1% over the week. Obviously no huge changes to my body, but that's kind of what I wanted anyway, and it gave me a thumbnail. I thought I stuck pretty well to the plan overall. I learned a lot of it actually coming from this book, which is called This Book Could Save Your Life. It's really good. It is written by a guy who has a degree in biochemistry and science communication, so he knows how to sift through all the bull. Moving forwards in the future, I'm gonna have way more whole grain, less sugar, less salt, alcohol, just less fun really. I'm gonna have less fun in my boring, prolonged life.